Marvel Rivals has went full goon, y'all. The goon apocalypse is among us. Get excited about it. YouTube, what's going on, man? It's Father Dark, and I'm here on a beautiful Thursday afternoon. It's almost 1 o'clock. I'm making this video, and I just want to say before we get into the video that the reason that I know about some of this stuff is because of someone on the channel called Giselle. Giselle is someone who stays really in tune with the community. She's constantly going through the Reddit and Twitter posts and stuff like that and finding a lot of the topics for this video. So salute to Giselle for bringing this to my attention. But the thing is, though, she sent me a link this morning, and in the link, you know, it was a post from Miller Ross. Now, one thing that I want to say or ask you all before I even get into this is, who exactly is Miller Ross? Is Miller Ross, like, you know, I see posts from him all the time. A lot of people are always adding him and stuff like that whenever they want to know things or information about leaks. He usually has leaks and stuff like that. Is he just someone that has a connection to someone at NetEase, or is he just someone who, like, they send this information to? Was he an ex-Overwatch player? Like, I'm curious as to what his background is. I can't really ever find anything about him in regards to where he came from or anything like that. But salute to him also for dropping a lot of the information and stuff like that a lot of times. But that's just something I'm curious about. If you know exactly what his background is or where he came from, whatever, just let me know in the comments. I really appreciate that for personal curiosity. Now let's get into it. So in this post that she sent, it was a Miller Ross post, and he was just basically posting the I believe it's called Battle Chest is what they call them, but it's basically like the mini little battle passes that get released. And under the comments, you know, there's a lot of people that are sitting back and they're really tight that, you know, that the battle chest that they release now is like the same price as the battle pass. And they're like, okay, well, the battle pass has like 10 skins in it, and a couple of those are free, and it has all this other content. And then this battle chest, or whatever you call it, it only has 3 skins in it, one of those being free. And, you know, why is it the same exact price? You know, to them, it just doesn't really weigh out. They don't really see the relevance of it. And you even had some people going as far as saying that NetEase needs to change this and make it the price of the previous battle chest, which I believe people were saying it was like 690 latest or latest, however you pronounce it. I don't exactly know. You can also let me know in the comments on that too. I've always been curious exactly how that's pronounced. Anyway, the point that I'm making is that I find this really, really interesting because every like free-to-play game that I've ever played has usually been pretty wild with the monetization, and it only gets worse and worse and worse over time. You take Apex Legends, for example. My opinion, they were terrible with monetization. And as the game went on and less people started playing the game, they only got worse and more greedy with greedier with their monetization. At one point, they had like in Apex, when you delete somebody, like when you eliminate another character, they have like this death box that drops. And pretty much that's what you go through and you loot to get all of their stuff or whatever, their attachments and shield and all that kind of stuff. At one point, they were selling some type of like, this thing was crazy. It was like $400 or $500. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, anybody who remembers this, but it was like $400 or $500 for a specialized death box. Can you imagine? Now, the thing is that at the end of the day, you don't have to pay for any of this stuff. Nobody is forcing you to pay for this stuff. Call of Duty did the same exact thing. They started selling these camos that you could only get if you would buy like a bag or something, and the bag would be like $200 or $300, maybe even more than that. I can't remember, because these are things that I'm not going to do. Don't matter how much disposable income I have. I'm not hurting for money whatsoever. I'm a very fortunate individual. But at the same time, though, you know, the way that you keep money and that you don't put yourself in a position to where you're hurting for money is by not making ridiculous purchases that you can't really rationalize whatsoever. I just bought a monitor not too long ago. You know how long I sat there on Amazon scrolling and reading reviews before I bought a monitor? Yeah, I could have just sat there and spent $500, $600 on a monitor. But no. I mentally to myself said, here's a budget. At most, I'm going to spend like $250 on a monitor. I don't play on anything bigger than a 28-inch monitor. I'm sitting right in front of it. What is the point of that, right? I only needed to be 240 FPS at the most. And I usually don't play on anything higher than 1080p because I'm playing on a 28-inch monitor. You literally cannot tell the difference at that size. It's different when we're talking about the flat screens that go into my room, my living room, or whatever, right? That's different. But the point that I'm making here is that I'm kind of like Liam Neeson in Taken. How bro, before he bought the karaoke machine for his daughter, kept going to the store for like 8 months and going over stuff and trying to rationalize how this was going to work and reading reviews and asking like a million questions and stuff before he bought it. That's kind of how I am. And that's how people should be. You shouldn't just be out frivolously spending money on things, because the whole point of money is to gain more. so you can have the things that you really need in life, especially when you get to my age where you got children and stuff like that. How am I supposed to rationalize things when it's like, oh, I'm just out here just blowing money on whatever, and the point that I'm making here is that when it comes to something like the little battle chest or whatever it's called, forgive me, you think about this for a second. How much does a skin usually cost in this game? Like if you buy a skin individually, how much does it cost? The least that I've ever really seen skins cost in this game is like 1,400 of the little blue tokens, whatever they're called, chronos or whatever the little tokens are called. So when I see that they have some type of little battle pass, whether it's a mini battle pass or the actual battle pass, and I see there's numerous skins, and I even like one or two of them in there, emotes, different things and stuff like that cost less than the price of just one singular skin in the game. And I'm not talking about the recolors. Please don't sit here and be like, but the recolors, those are, in my opinion, not skins. That's why they're called recolors. It's the same skin. They just recolored it. So it should be cheaper. Okay. When you're getting all of this stuff at a time and they're charging you like half the price of what a premium skin usually costs, where exactly is the problem? I can't seem to understand exactly what the logic is behind there being a problem about that. And I've said it before in previous videos. I fully understand that there are people that are out there that are struggling, that are having hard times and stuff like that. And I'm extremely sympathetic to those people in their situations. Extremely sympathetic. When the new season came out, I just dropped I did a giveaway that would have to say not associated with YouTube. This is something I did in my own time, in my own Discord for some of my subscribers that were in there. I dropped like 3 battle passes for people because I understand what it's like when you're younger, or even if you're older or something like that, in between whatever age, and maybe you fall on hard times, maybe you got an injury or something like that, ailments, maybe you got a bunch of kids and it's time for school or whatever. I try to think from other people's perspectives. And I remember what it was like when I was in my early 20s, living off Top Ramen, living paycheck to paycheck, having to scrounge up money before the lights get cut off. And I've done everything I can to never have to be in a position like that again. But that does not mean that I am now completely oblivious to what that was like. I'm fully aware. Just got to put that out there, right? So that's one thing if you literally just can't afford it. It's another thing if you're sitting here complaining about something when in reality, the price that I just spent buying this battle chest, I honestly just spent more on Celsius energy drinks when I went down to the store a moment ago. I can sit here and I spend more a lot of times going to Starbucks and getting my coffee. That's something that I consume in a very brief time that lasts for a very brief period of time. Right? But then with this, I'm getting stuff for something that I actually enjoy. Let's put being a content creator to the side. Let's just say you're an average gamer and you play this game and you enjoy this game. Do you understand how much time you're getting out of enjoying something? I'm gonna be honest with you. I can count on like 2 hands maybe how many actual like skins I've paid for in this game. A lot of times skins come out and I just go, not really interested. Or that's cool, but not really my thing. I bought most of the Spider-Man skins. I bought that Psylocke skin immediately. As soon as the game dropped and I saw that, I was like, dear Lord, cop that immediately. But like I said, 2 hands, I can count all the different things I've bought in this game. When I see something in the game and I'm not really interested in it, I don't care. I just move right on past it. It doesn't bother me. I don't feel the need to go to anybody's videos and comment or get on Twitter and complain about it. I just don't care because I feel like I don't have to buy it if I don't want it, right? But when I see these little battle chests or whatever, for example, I don't necessarily care about the Thing skin. I don't play Luna, but I like the skin though. I might play Luna for a little bit just to rock that skin. The Thing, when I do want to play the Thing because he is becoming one of the better tanks in the game, yeah, I'll rock that. Now, Thor, I play Thor all the time, and I would much rather have this goofy, silly summer skin than the one that I have currently. Do I like that skin? Yes. But at the same time, though, the one that's coming out now, much prefer to have that one. It's very goofy. It very, very much fits the theme of this game. It does not take itself very seriously in regards to the cosmetic area, right? And, like I was saying earlier, and I kind of got off topic because I'm kind of going on a rant right now. Fair is fair. That's kind of like the rule that I live by. If I make a rule about something, it has to apply to everything. It can't just be like, well, this only applies to me and this one other person, but it doesn't apply to these other 3 people over here. Or this can apply to this corporation, but it doesn't apply to me and how I think, or it doesn't apply to you and how you feel, just because it's a corporation and corporations are bad. Okay, the corporation, NetEase, they gave you this game. You enjoy it. Now, in a previous video that I talked about, there were a lot of people that were like, and the video was just for context, it was about, because we thought the people had said there wasn't going to be free skins in the Battle Pass. And I was just wondering, like, asking people in the video, was that a big deal? Was it an issue? Yada, yada. And I was basically saying from my perspective that I feel like, basically like NetEase had been too nice maybe, and people were starting to like grow to expect free stuff all the time. But at the end of the day, the only thing they make their money off of is the cosmetics. So from a business standpoint, it just makes sense to me to charge people for the one thing that you're only able to charge people for. You can't charge them for anything else, or it wouldn't be a free to play game. If there's any aspect that you need to pay for to actually be able to play the game, then it is no longer a free to play game. They're now charging you for the game and the content in it. But the thing is that when it comes to cosmetics, you should be charged for that because they're cosmetics. People are having to make them. And not only are people having to make them, but this game is using the Disney IP, which is the Marvel IP. Disney owns Marvel. Outside of the comic books, I'm pretty sure they don't own the actual comic books, but everything outside of that, all the media outside of that, the movies, TV shows, all stuff like this, games and all that stuff, that's Disney. Do you honestly think Disney is not taking their cut off the top? You would have to be the most naive person on the planet to think that Disney ain't coming in and like, yeah, let me go ahead and get my 60% off the top, sir. I mean, what are we talking about here? Let's talk about the employees they got to pay. What do you think? These people are sitting here making all this stuff for us for free out of the kindness of their heart? Let me ask you a question. Do you go to your job for the kindness of your heart? Do you see me coming up in McDonald's and Burger King and going, hey, man, let me just get a quarter pounder, man, with cheese, man, large fry and a McFlurry, man. Come on, man, just look out for me, man. What you going to say to me? Sir, take your goofy behind right back out where you came from, or reach in your pocket and pull some money out. That's what you're going to say to me. And would you be wrong? No, you'd be perfectly in the right. That goes back to what I'm saying about rules applying to everybody. I would never come in your business, your place of work, and expect you to do anything for free. Just like the Joker said in The Dark Knight, if you're good at something, don't you ever do it for free. These people have created a game that you enjoy and that you play. And that reminds me of what I was saying earlier in regards to the previous video, how people were saying, oh, well, they should give free stuff because I have to sit here and grind it out. So it's not really free because I'm grinding it out. Brother, you're playing a video game. Let's be real here for a second. You're playing a video game. Please stop acting like you went out and did some back-breaking work. Please stop. Sir, I'm calling cap. All right? Like, you honestly gonna sit in my face and act like you playing I play video games for a living. This is what I do. YouTube pays me. This is a mutual transaction. YouTube is a video platform. That is what they make their money off of. You know how YouTube makes their money? From advertisers. You know where the advertisers advertise at? Do you think they just show up to the app on a blank app that says YouTube and have videos and advertisements and stuff? No. There are content creators that put time and energy in to make the videos that you all consume. More people watch YouTube now than basic cable. I know I do. I pay for a couple streaming services. You know how often I actually use the streaming services? Very rarely, because that's how often they actually put new content on there that I haven't actually seen before. But YouTube, I watch YouTube every single day. I'll jump on YouTube to find content before anything else. So we consume the content, but people have to make that content. So me and YouTube, we got a mutual agreement. I'll make the content. You'll provide the platform. I'll respect your rules and abide by them, right? And then the advertisers come in, they get to advertise, which they pay money for, which me and YouTube split. Same thing with TikTok. Actually, I don't know how TikTok is really making their money at the end of the day because I don't ever see ads on TikTok, so I don't know what that's about. But the point that I'm making is that regardless, it's mutual transaction, right? No differently than if I walk into your job, and I just use McDonald's as a reference. I know not everybody works at McDonald's. Let's change. Let's say Starbucks. I walk into Starbucks. I'm like, yo, let me get the large ice cold coffee with 3 or 4 shots of espresso, right? So I can come in here and rant for 30, 40 minutes and make a video. And you're like, okay, well, now I want money. That's how things work. That's how the world works. That's how it works. You want to play a video game and you want to get content every month, every couple of months, whatever. You want new maps, you want new characters, you want new abilities, animations and all this other voice lines and all this stuff. Where do you think that comes from? You want to make me a video game to this level for free? Please do. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see it, but you don't and you won't. You know why? Because that's preposterous. Ain't nobody doing that. That's crazy. So, you know, that's just my little rant. I don't understand where this mindset of give me. Just give me stuff for free. Why do things cost money? Because that's how the world works. Now, in all fairness, is there a point that it becomes too crazy? Yes. Let's say they started charging $50 or $40 or whatever for these battle passes or whatever the case is. You think I want to pay that? No. I'll be like, I'm good. I'd rather just buy an individual skin here or there where I see that it's relevant. Not because I can't afford it, because the benefit is no longer outweighing, you know, what it costs at that point for me. But $10? You're telling me the price of what it costs to get not even a large meal from McDonald's or a couple of energy drinks? I use McDonald's, but I really don't eat that crap. Every now and again, I allow my kids to get like they like to get the 20-piece nugget meal with like the double fries. It's like a little bundle they have, and usually that costs about $10.99. They consume it in like 5 minutes, and then 5 minutes later they're asking me for something else because it's not real food. That's why I don't even like getting it for them. I prefer them to eat actual food in a home cooked meal, but they're kids. They like McDonald's, right? That's the reason why I bring it up. Me personally, though, I would no. You couldn't pay me to eat McDonald's. I can't stand it. I just gotta say that it's actual trash. Anybody ever seen that video where they left the McDonald's cheeseburger outside for like 6 months and it barely even deteriorated at all? Something's wrong with that. You gotta ask yourself questions at that point. Like, what the hell is this? It ain't food, you know. No shade to McDonald's. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. You couldn't pay me to eat it. But anyway, you know, that's just my little rant. But let me know in the comment sections what you all think. Do you think that I'm tweaking out? Do you think that I'm jaded? Please, one thing I'm not going to sit here and hear is somebody being like, yo, he's a, you know, a corporate shill. Bro, I have, if of all the content creators out there, more than likely, there's probably only one or two that are harsher on NetEase than me. This whole channel, I can't say it started off of that, but since I've been making content for Marvel Rivals, I have been straight on them about EOMM and all these different things. But the thing is that at the end of the day, I'm fair. Just because I'm tight with you about EOMM or because I'm tight about something else in the game or you know, whatever it is that you got going on in one of the many topics that I've covered or whatever, does not mean when you do something right that I'm going to sit here and just get on you and just to be on some hate train or something. That's not how it works. But please don't sit here and try to say, oh, he's taking up for the corporations. It's not taking up for anybody. Right is right, wrong is wrong. It just so happens that in this instance, I don't feel like they've done anything wrong. And that's just me keeping it real with you all. But like I said, let me know in the comments, though, what you think about it. Do you think they're trying to slowly increase the battle pass prices or I'm sorry, the battle chest or whatever these are called prices and maybe the battle you know, whatever prices, you know, all that good stuff. Let me know if you think they're trying to increase it over time. Let me know if you think they're wrong for this. They should have kept it the same price, whatever. I'm interested to hear from you all. But like I said, it's one of those situations where I have my thoughts and opinions on things. I'm always going to tell you all the truth and how I feel about stuff. I try to be as objective as possible, but sometimes I look at certain situations and I go, what are we doing here? What are we actually complaining about here? If anything, you should be saying thank you. From the perspective of a free-to-play player, in most games, you're just going to be stuck with nothing except whatever the base skins are. In this game, you can sit here and play this game all day long and they just keep throwing free stuff at you. Just keep throwing free stuff. I lost count of how many free skins I've gotten out of this game. I don't use half of them because I usually only care about the skins that I actually care about, that I take the time to actually purchase. But every now and again, they do drop a free skin and I go, oh, this ain't bad. You know, like that Storm one. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Right? So that's just my thoughts and opinions. But let me know in the comments what you think. That's all I got for this video. I'm going to wrap it up, and I will catch you all in the next one. It's Father Dark, and I'm out.